A possibility of a D'Angelo Russell trade to the Orlando Magic is now dead in the water after JJ Reddick of the Los Angeles Lakers has now said and come out with great confidence in the veteran guard going forward. Now, we're going to be talking about what exactly the Orlando Magic have moving into this season and into training camp, and what exactly the Lakers are planning on doing, and if whether or not a trade with them is still possible in any sort of fashion, because obviously they're out there on the trade market a lot. But first, guys, make sure that if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel, to subscribe to Magic Digest, support us. That's the easiest and best way to do it. We're trying to build an Orlando Magic basketball community here on YouTube, and that is the easiest and best way to support us. Now, let's get into the exact report that is coming out from the JJ Reddick camp, which is what he said coming into training camp in a couple days. Said he's going to have a major role on this team. He said, I think the thing that D'Lo and I have talked about a lot is, let's put you in a position to have a career year. Obviously, they're going to invest some of the time, and they've obviously already invested their money into D'Angelo Russell, but they're kind of investing that, the rotation, the minutes, the ability, the opportunity on the court into D'Angelo Russell this year. So it looks like they're really trying to be all hands on deck as far as him having a good year. And whenever he plays well, the Lakers are a very good team. They have a higher ceiling when he plays well. Obviously still running through LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Not saying that they aren't, but with certain things swirling around Austin Reeves and his tenure there, and whether or not they want to make a move to get another big man, it's interesting to see them put a lot of faith into D'Angelo Russell, and they said that they're probably not going to package him in any sort of deal, because they're obviously getting that level of confidence from JJ Reddick. It's JJ Reddick's first year. I don't think that they're going to make a trade before the season. This would be something maybe towards the deadline. Now, we'll see exactly what the Lakers end up doing, but this is a Magic channel, and guys, I haven't talked to you guys in about 10 days or so it's been a minute. We're in the dead period of the NBA. So I know we've been talking a lot about these different trade possibilities and everything like that, but I definitely want to harp on the fact that this wasn't going to be something that I think was very possible or something that could happen, but it was something that I felt like needed to be mentioned, because a team like the Orlando Magic struggled. The last time I talked to you guys, or struggled on offense, the last time I talked to you guys was the coaching rankings. It was Jamahl Mosley being at the bottom half of the NBA, and the main concern is the offense. Well, D'Angelo Russell would fix that. So, with the Orlando Magic not going after D'Angelo Russell, what exactly are they going to have to do now? I think we've gone over the guard rotation a lot. They're going to, just like the Lakers are with investing in D'Angelo Russell, the Magic are investing in Jalen Suggs, giving him that opportunity as the number one point guard. They paid KCP, second highest salary on the team right now behind Jonathan Isaac for this year. And then they are going to obviously still keep Cole Anthony, have Anthony Black in the fold, and they're going to have guys like Gary Harris and Corey Joseph, who are going to be on the roster, and they're not exactly going to be huge pieces, but they're going to be able to come off the bench and provide some sort of relief depending on injury. Those are going to be the guys there. But is that going to be enough? Is that going to be enough for the Orlando Magic to have offensively? To support Paolo Banchero, he said he's one of that table setter. To support Franz Wagner when potentially he is going cold, whether or not his shooting is going to be there or not. And what is going on with the front court? Are we going to get any scoring from the front court? That still remains to be seen. But I like what the Magic have and what their core is, but it seems like they're not going to make a move for D'Angelo Russell, so where exactly are they going to be able to go from here? It's an interesting kind of thing that's gonna happen, but we'll end up having to see in the future. Now, I did want to get into a potential trade that could happen in the future, and that is with Wendell Carter Jr. This pretty much takes it off the table. I think when I said prior to the season happening, I said that Wendell Carter Jr. was going to get traded to the Lakers or the Pelicans, and both of those teams, or the Lakers have stayed pat and the Pelicans made their move. It seems like both of those teams are now going into the season with the team that they're going with, and it seems like there's not going to be any sort of trade right now that's going on in the NBA. It's certainly not likely, but before the trade deadline, I don't know now if he's going to get traded. I think even on the last year of his deal, I think even with an expiring contract, I don't think that the Magic are going to trade him anymore. I was initially we'll see what the team looks like come trade deadline, but I was initially very interested and and optimistic in a sense that the Orlando Magic were going to trade him. It looks now that probably isn't going to be the case, especially with D'Angelo Russell now not being on the trade block. Now, we can obviously revisit, like I have said just a second ago, at the trade deadline. Potentially, both of those guys are going to be made available. Both these teams are going to be in a position to make a trade. But I think for the most part that the Orlando Magic are going to now keep Wendell Carter Jr. because it seems like all of the trade the teams that could possibly be in the market to trade for Wendell Carter Jr. are now kind of off the market as is currently. And we don't know how their front court is going to fill out, if they're even going to be in the mood to make a trade in that sense come the trade deadline. Now, what exactly is this team's ceiling? I think it's something that a lot of people have been asking. It's something that I mentioned in the Jamahl Mosley video where we talked about how he was in the bottom half of the coaches. The other part was not just looking at the offense and how the guard rotation can end up elevating the offensive rank, but also what exactly are the expectations and what is the ceiling? Well, I think the ceiling for this team is 50-something wins. Not too much ahead or too far ahead of 50 wins. I think in the regular season, this team will be very good, especially since they're very good defensively. But I think they're a team that would excel more in the postseason because their defense can tighten up even further. And as long as the offense kind of comes together, I think they can beat a handful of teams in the Eastern Conference. Now, what exactly are the expectations? Well, I think the expectations are to hopefully get home court and to then to then beat a team in the playoffs. I would say that's the basic expectations that you would like to see the Orlando Magic, if you've been following the team, if you're a fan of the team, to achieve. Now, with something like this, I did want to bring it to everybody here watching this video. Do you really think that this team, as currently constructed, can achieve those goals? I personally do, but I will say that some of the players that are on the team right now, and I made a video about this earlier in the summer, will not be here for when this team has a lot of success, especially in the postseason. So that's something that we need to really keep a mind on. Because when I make videos like this about, oh, this guy's going to get traded, or, oh, this is potentially what's going to happen, and I get some pushback. I feel that. I understand where everybody's coming from about how not everybody can get traded, but also at the same time, not everybody can stay on the team. So I think it's really interesting conversation because when we talk about D'Lo, he's going to stay on the Los Angeles Lakers, but he's had postseason success. Not a guy that the Magic would take because he's not a lengthy defender, especially on the perimeter, but he's a guy who can provide offense. So right now he's off the trade market, and the Orlando Magic are going to go into this season with the team that they've currently constructed, with just simply re-signing everybody and adding KCP. Will that be enough? We'll have to see. But next time, guys, I will see you with more Orlando Magic basketball content. We're going to be talking training camp, who's going to make the team, who's going to get those last two-way contracts. We've talked about Mac McClung. We've talked about a handful of other guys from the G League who we've brought back as well. And then we're going to be talking about more season expectations, maybe further down the line. We're going to be talking about the NBA Cup and everything like that going on, and who we would like to see in the postseason, and who exactly is in for a breakout year. What are the odds? What are the betting odds? Who could potentially win any sorts of awards, All-Stars, All-NBA, stuff like that. Big season preview stuff right around the corner on this channel, so definitely stay tuned. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about my question, whether or not this team, as currently constructed, can achieve those ceiling and expectations. We'll see, even despite not getting D'Lo, not getting anybody else, but I digress nonetheless. But guys, thank you so much for watching the video, and I will see you guys next time.